It looks like a movie set, a vision of the future built today. A city where 80% of the population lives in public housing, and they love it. A city where you can be fined $1,000 for chewing gum. A city with no natural resources, not even enough water to drink, that now sells its own water technology to the world. A city that, 60 years ago, was a malarial swamp with slums and riots. This is Singapore. And the world asks one question: how? How do you go from this to this in a single lifetime? It's not luck, and it's not magic. It's a formula, a deliberate, ruthless, and brilliant formula for building a perfect city. And in this video, we're going to deconstruct it piece by piece. What if you could design a society from scratch? What would you prioritize? Wealth, happiness, control? For Singapore, the answer was simple: survival. The first ingredient in the formula isn't concrete, it's foresight. This is where Singapore's brilliance truly shines. They use incredibly detailed 3D models, like this one, to plan 50 years into the future. Think about that. Most cities can't plan 5 years ahead. Singapore is planning for 2070. They decide now where the next airport will be, where the next housing estates will rise, and even where the next parks will be, long before a single shovel hits the ground. This long-term thinking prevents chaos. It's why you don't see a luxury condo suddenly built next to a polluting factory. It's why their new subway lines are planned decades before the neighborhoods they serve even exist. But there's a problem. Singapore is tiny. It's a city-state smaller than New York City. So, where do you put all this? The answer: they build their own land. Over 20% of Singapore is man-made, reclaimed from the sea. They are literally building their future out of sand. But the real genius isn't just planning the land, it's planning the people. When you hear public housing, you probably think of this: show grainy photo of a rundown project. But in Singapore, you should think of this. This is an HDB flat, and over 80% of the entire population lives in one. More importantly, they own it. In the 1960s, Singapore faced a housing crisis and deep racial divides. The solution? The Housing and Development Board. The government built massive new towns, selling flats to citizens on a 99-year lease for a heavily subsidized price. It solved the slum problem, but it also did something else. It became the second ingredient in the formula: forced social integration. This is the Ethnic Integration Policy, EIP. In simple terms, every single HDB block and neighbourhood has a racial quota. Your neighbours are, by law, a mix of Singapore's multicultural society. It's blunt. Some even call it discriminatory. But Singapore's government saw it as the only way to prevent the racial riots of their past. They didn't hope for integration, they engineered it. They forced people to live together, eat together at the hawker centres, and send their kids to the same schools. The HDB isn't just housing, it's the social glue of the entire nation. Okay, so you have a perfectly planned city and integrated housing. What's next? You have to move people around. This is where most cities fail. They choke on their own success, grinding to a halt in endless traffic. Singapore's solution? The third ingredient: make cars a painful luxury, not a right. They declared war on the car, and their weapon is the COE, or Certificate of Entitlement. You don't just buy a car in Singapore. You have to first win a bid to buy a permission slip, a piece of paper that gives you the right to own a car for 10 years. The cost of that permission slip? As of 2024, it can be over $100,000. That's before you even buy the car itself, which is also heavily taxed. A simple Toyota Camry can cost over $170,000. It's brutal, but it works. The message is clear: take the train. And they made that choice easy. The punishment for driving is balanced by the reward of world-class public transport. The MRT is clean, it's safe, it's always on time, and it's cheap. They didn't just ask people to give up their cars. They used a powerful economic formula to make the train the only logical choice. You can plan land, manage people, and control traffic, but you can't create water. And for Singapore, this was an existential threat. The island has almost no natural aquifers or rivers. For decades, it was completely dependent on a deal to import water from its neighbour, Malaysia. A single political disagreement could, quite literally, turn off the tap. So Singapore decided to solve the impossible. This is the fourth ingredient: total self-sufficiency. They call it the 4 national taps. Tap 1, local catchment. They turned the entire island into a sponge. Every river, canal, and storm drain now leads to 17 massive reservoirs. The water in Marina Bay? It's not salt water. It's a giant freshwater lake in the middle of the city. Tap 2, imported water. The original source, still there for now. Tap 3, desalination. They built high-tech plants to turn seawater into drinking water. It's expensive, but it's theirs. But the real secret, the one that makes the world gasp, is Tap 4, new water. What is NE water? To put it politely, it's recycled water. To put it bluntly, it's purified sewage. They take water from the sewer and put it through an advanced, multi-stage purification process that makes it cleaner than the water from your tap. It's a psychological masterpiece. They took the most disgusting idea possible, and through branding, science, and public education, they turned it into a symbol of national pride. They didn't just solve their water problem, they turned a critical vulnerability into a high-tech, billion-dollar export industry. So the city is planned, integrated, efficient, and self-sufficient. But is it livable? Is it a human place, or just a perfect machine? This is the 5th and final ingredient: a city in a garden. From the very beginning, Kuan knew that to attract top global talent, Singapore couldn't just be efficient, it had to be beautiful. He launched a tree planting campaign in the 1960s that has never stopped. This isn't just about a few parks, it's a deliberate strategy to weave nature into the entire urban fabric. They have park connectors, a 300-kilometre-long green highway that links all the major parks. They passed laws requiring new buildings to replace any greenery they remove on the building itself. This led to an explosion of vertical gardens and sky parks. The result? It's one of the greenest cities on Earth. It's a biophilic city designed on the principle that humans need nature to thrive. The result is undeniable. It's safe, it's clean, it's efficient, it's green. It is, by almost any metric, a perfect city. The only question left is, would you want to live there?